Hey guys, welcome back to Movies and Cookies with Jackie and Jeremy. I'm Jackie.
And I'm the fantabulous super duper Jeremy that likes all the Scream movies. Except for one of them, which we're gonna get to in the future. Hint. It was the last one. Okay.
What?
Yeah, Scream 7 sucks, but you'll find that out later on.
Yeah,
Okay. But now we're gonna get to Scream 2.
Scream 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
which okay, compared to Scream 1, it was solid. It's pretty good, but you could,
Yeah.
but there was, but it wasn't as good as the first one. Is any movie as
Yeah.
good as any movie usually as good as the first one?
Not really.
But hey, this sequel has meta commentary about sequels, and it talked about sequels that are superior to the first, like Aliens, The Godfather Part Two, Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So,
I guess those are the exceptions.
100%. Does Toy Story 2 also count, Jackie?
Yeah.
100%, yes. And you could also talk about Mad Max Fury Road as well, and other ones. And also,
Mhm.
and we're talking MCU, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's
Oh,
better than
yes.
Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah, it was definitely better than that.
Yeah. And then, but we talk about Iron Man 2 was mid. But Iron Man 3 was actually pretty good. I mean, some people like Iron Man 3. Others don't like it because of the ending twist.
The only thing I liked about Iron Man 2 was Mickey Rourke's character.
Oh yeah, he was pretty weird and bizarre. He was fun. I mean,
I want my I want my bird.
I want my bird. Oh yeah, that was good. That was really good. Oh god, that was so funny. I mean, he had potential. Like they had potential to actually have more depth to him, but they took out the deeper aspects of his character. But hey, he was still fun. They had I want my bird part. So, and Sam Rockwell, who was really good in that as well. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. How can you go wrong with him? He's always great as Tony Stark, no matter what.
Yeah, in this house we stand Tony Stark.
And we stand Tony Stark in this house. We're Tony Stark fans, folks.
Yay!
Yay! All right, we'll talk more about Iron Man and Tony Stark when we talk about the Iron Man movies in the future. Stay tuned for that, folks. So, all right, Scream 2. Obviously, written by Kim Williamson again, directed by Wes Craven. I like. We just realized I was reading up about production history for Scream and Scream 2, and I realized, oh my god, we're gonna do some production history for the first Scream, and then we move around to Scream 2. So the very
Yeah.
inspiration for Scream itself, two inspirations. Number one, Kim Williamson regarding gained inspiration from the Gainesville murders. So yes, folks, Scream
Mm.
was based on actual murders that took place, and also
Mm.
he also watched a documentary about some murders that haunted him. He had a nightmare. He had a nightmare, and that's how he came up with the home invasion scene in the very beginning of the movie. And
Yeah.
obviously, he discussed with his friend about inspirations for different killers, for different killers they liked, like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. And he wrote the script. And he wrote five potential drafts for five possible sequels. And obviously the first movie got shit like some studios were interested in the movie, such as Morgan Creek, Universal, Paramount, which is funny because
Yeah.
Paramount Pictures started distributing the Scream movies from five onwards. Um,
Yeah. That is funny.
and then obviously like West Craven, they got West Craven. Obviously, some directors that were considered were Quentin Tarantino, Sam Raimi, among Danny Boyle, among others. Quentin Tarantino would have definitely fit the tone.
I I don't know. I just don't see Quentin Tarantino doing that.
You don't see Quentin Tarantino doing Scream. I
Yeah,
mean,
I just don't see it.
yeah, obviously, oh, you don't see it. What about Danny Boyle? He did the 28 Days Later movies. I can't see
Danny
Danny.
Boyle, I could see him do that.
What about Sam Raimi?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he did Evil Dead, so he's known for mixing comedy and horror. So,
Yeah,
and
I think it's safe to say Sam Raimi would have been a good one.
yeah, but of course for the first Scream, they got Wes Craven, and obviously Wes Craven directed the first four movies. This movie included.
Yeah.
And obviously they like so obviously for Craven released the script, he only added some he only fixed some typos and changed the ending around, some other stuff around. Um, but they had to trim down much of the movie because because they had to get an R rating, so they took out some of the more gory aspects.
Mhm. Right. Right.
Um, And obviously, some actresses that were considered for Sidney Prescott were some Reese Witherspoon among them. Vanessa Shaw, Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon wasn't picked because she was considered too young for the role.
Hmm.
And obviously, and other actors that were actually continuing were Alicia Witt and Brittany Murphy. Nev Campbell actually was picked first. Like she was preferred choice. But they did a screen test to make the other contenders forced to compete with her. But yeah, she had a dancing background, so she had athleticism because of her dancing background, and she mixed her role with performance, strength, and vulnerability. So obviously we know Nev Campbell, perfect Sidney Prescott. Like Courtney Cox obviously was considered, but Wes Craven didn't want her. But then Courtney Cox wrote a letter saying, "Oh, don't worry, it's not a stretch to play a B at all." Like David Arquette wanted the role. Like he was originally gonna Dewey was originally going to be a tough character, but Dewey imagined him as basically being a character who wants to be John Wayne, but he has a heart of gold. And then
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, Rose McGowan added some stuff to Tatum, including
Hmm.
dyeing her hair blonde and getting rid of Indigo Girls poster because she wouldn't listen to the older band. Um, and then obviously Vince Vaughn. Remember, Dimension actually wanted Vince Vaughn to play Billy Loomis, but
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay, that would have been interesting.
yeah, that would have been interesting for sure. Imagine that, like he's known for the comedies, and then Billy Loomis, but Skid Orange, he pulled a Heath Ledger. He pulled a Heath Ledger away. He researched serial killers, and he basically he watched Faces of Death. He did whatever he could to put himself in the gory mindset of Billy Loomis. So
And I did like Skeet Ulrich as Billy Loomis.
yeah, he was fantastic as Billy Loomis, 100% for sure. He was like
Yeah.
he really played the role, and such a creepy. He really brought the creepy factor to it.
He also like brought out the derangement.
Well, derangement, yeah, he had 100% derangement, yeah. I think Matthew Lillard was originally going to be cast to play Billy Loomis. No, but I think I know. I think he auditioned to play Billy Loomis, but couldn't imagine that the studio could imagine him, having a romantic role with Nev Campbell. So they made him, they made him vouch for Stu. There we go.
Yeah, he did a really good job as Stu.
Oh, he was brilliant as Stu. Fucking. Oh no, sorry for the swearing, folks. He was brilliant as Stu. Brilliant as Stu. I mean, he brought again. He was such a psycho, and he was also so funny too. It's like my mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me.
Newsflash: they are going to be mad at you.
Exactly, because you're a murderer, Stu. You're a murderer. And can I just say as well, honestly, because Randy said in this movie that Billy Loomis, what the f? He was a homo-repressed, rat-looking, homo-repressed mama's boy. It's funny how he said homo repressed because people think that Billy and Stu have a homoerotic thing going on.
Yeah, just like Howard and Raj.
Exactly. Even though Howard and Raj kept denying it, but we know, folks, we know they had a homo. They know they're gay for each other.
Well,
They
they're best.
both should end
Well,
up
they're
together in the end of Big
well
Bang Theory.
Howard
Yeah,
Howard and Raj are best friends.
they are best friends. Hey, sometimes most friends can fall in love sometimes. So there you go. Just like Harry and Sally.
Yep, that can happen.
It can happen. It doesn't always happen, but it can happen. So now we're getting right to screen two. So there's not much to say about it. Obviously, but other than this, obviously there was one of the potential rewrites. But here's the thing about two interesting things about this movie. Number one, you notice if you're Screen fans, folks, and whoever watching this, you are Screen fans. The movie came out in 1997, the year after Scream, the original Scream. So that's a very unusual schedule for a sequel, don't you think, Jackie?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like if they do sequels, they're like 2-3 years apart.
Yeah, they are. But this one was like a year apart, which means they rushed it. The studio wanted a
Yeah,
sequel in December 1997 by December 1997, so they had to have a rush 6-month production schedule. Which means that
right.
Kim Williams' script was detailed in some ways, but also lacking others. So Wes Craven had to rewrite even as they were filming.
Yeah, and that's a lot of work.
100% a lot of work. And here's the thing: Toy Story 2, they had a rush production schedule, but that turned out to be a masterpiece.
Hmm.
But Screen 2, because of rewrites, because it was rushed, at least in my opinion, it means the sequel is lacking compared to the original movie. But
Hmm. Yeah.
um, and obviously back then leaks happened. Obviously back then fellow scripts leaking were a huge deal because that never happened before.
Yeah.
And obviously, and they revealed the identity of some killers. But here's the thing: Kim Williamson came out. The leaks were actually on purpose. They actually leaked the scripts on purpose.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they were worried about the identity of the killer coming out, so they wrote three different scripts with three different killers. And guess which and obviously they had obviously and Dewey was part of the leaked script. Like Dewey was one of the killers in one of the dummy scripts. Imagine Dewey as the killer.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Honestly, that would have been
That would have
heartbreaking.
been. Yeah, that would have broken my heart.
Oh yeah, because Dewey's such a great character. He's lovable. He's so lovable. He's like a very lovable doofus. Not lovable doofus. He's a very lovable goofball.
We love Dewey.
We love Dewey in this house. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah.